Now, I could have talked about this at any point in the series. I think now is a good time to discuss it. And also, like, I'm trying to point out unique elements of Twin Peaks that I haven't heard discussed. That doesn't mean they haven't been discussed. I'm sure they certainly have been. I just haven't seen them. So in this episode, we see a lot. There's some development with James Hurley, Maddie Ferguson, and Donna Hayward. And, well, name's gone. Sorry, can't do it. Getting older, man. It's really tough. The Donna Hayward is Ben, and then so That's right, Donna Hayward, Ben Horn's daughter, Audrey Horn. All four of them are involved, at least loosely together, and they are doing their own investigation. Audrey, in particular, is trying to get hired on at Horn's department store to get at the perfume counter. Now, this is a really interesting element of One Eyed Jacks, that one would go to the perfume counter at a department store that's where they would recruit for One Eyed Jacks. It's a really interesting idea that they go there for minimum wage. They're young because it's a perfume counter, and then they can offer them a more lucrative opportunity, quote unquote, in the woods where the third world isn't far from them. And then of course we see she has secret rooms where she spies. Later on, she's going to spy on Emery Battis, who's the head of the department store, from the closet, which reminds everyone of Blue Velvet. And of course, Maddie finds Laura's secret. She has a little secret place she keeps things, and she finds a tape in there, and it was Donna that knew that existed because she was friends with Laura. So you have these little amateurs doing their investigation. David Lynch has a fascination. It's what they did wrong with season 3, and I'll explain that in a minute. He didn't capture that old style he used to have. And he used to have this fascination with someone investigating something and then getting in over their head. Blue Velvet was dubbed The Hardy Boys Go to Hell. And it was, Jeffrey Beaumont is doing an investigation. He's working with the police, but he finds the ear in the field, and he's investigating it by himself, and he gets in way over his head. In Twin Peaks, Donna and the crew are doing this investigation, and what's happening? They're getting in way in over their head. Audrey's going to end up at One Eyed Jacks, and the situation is going to get out of control. In Mulholland Drive, they're trying to figure out the identity of this girl. They get involved in forces that are very, very creepy and they can't even fathom what they're dealing with. Lynch used to love that. And in season 3, it's the FBI and the sheriff's office primarily. There are characters that are in over their head, but they're not really amateurs. That sort of interest in discovering a world and not knowing what you're getting into and then finding you're in trouble is not in season 3 of Twin Peaks. It's just not there. Maybe he tried, but I didn't see it. That's why I think season 3 should have been the Bookhouse Boys. It should have been them trying to figure out what's going on in the woods, and it would have been the same thing, in over their heads. And you could have included not Donna. They made the right decision not including her in season 3, in my opinion. They could have had Audrey, though, helping the Bookhouse Boys. It would have been really interesting. But unfortunately, that's just my opinion. Obviously, not everyone would agree with that. But that's the way I see it. Now, that said, this also is coupled with the official investigation. And I think the reason why Lynch does this is so those who are getting in over their heads can have experiences that cannot be explained, but then there are some things that can be explained by the official investigation. And so they go, and what do they find? One of the best scenes in the show, Jacques Renault's cabin in the woods, which clearly mimics the Black Lodge, and kind of shows you that whatever this darkness is in the woods, it was meant to recall Cooper's dream and make you think, well, this looks just like Cooper's dream. He even finds a record and says there's always music in the air. If you look closely, Leland dances just like the man from another place, or the Arm, they call him. He dances just like him. So music in the air, the dancing, it's all there. Well crafted, well put together. Okay, I want to deal with a second thing that I saw on Reddit yesterday that I thought, wow, this fits right into what I'm discussing on this, kind of. So it's because I didn't want this installment to be super short compared to the others. So, because the truth be told, this episode just didn't have a whole lot going down for it as far as unique things to consider. The director was Leslie Linka Glatter. She was famous, in my opinion, for doing Gilmore Girls, but she has a particular directing style, and she's really good at what she does. And is one thing a friend of mine pointed out one time, and he didn't like it, but that I noticed she was signaling something to the audience. When they're on their way to Jacques' cabin, when they finally run across the cabin, it shows like a profile of all three of them, Cooper, Truman, and Warren Frost's character, the doctor, Doc Hayward, all coming into line in their profiles perfectly in front of the camera. He always thought that was very distracting. But I noticed earlier in the episode it had happened too. And it was to get the audience to see that they see something. I thought that was kind of an interesting choice on her part. But the question I saw on Reddit was this: why do they meet above a convenience store? The season 3 answers this question, and as far as I can tell, and it's pretty interesting. And I think I hinted at this in the past, so I will keep this brief. But apparently, although when in the Black Lodge, time and space are relative, there are still fixed points in time and space that the Black Lodge can't change. So, like, the evil Agent Cooper is getting ready to go back into the lodge, and there's really nothing he can do about it. And so I call them pinch points. There's these little pinch points where the Black Lodge meets this world, where the third world meets the first world, and then bleeds out in the second world. So like Jacques' cabin is a bleeding out of the pinch point that's in the woods in Twin Peaks, which is a opening to the Black Lodge. And so all that bleeds out. And you see that in season 3. There's like a sickness in Twin Peaks. Okay, so in this case, it manifests with the Black Lodge. With Jacques' cabin with One-Eyed Jacks and so forth, and the death of Laura. Now, in season 3, they identify other pinch points. All right, and one of the other ones the most obvious one is in Twin Peaks in the woods. That's why the series is what it is. But the others seems to indicate Cooper was trying to keep from having to go back, the evil Cooper, and so may have gone to South America to deal with a pinch point there. There's a pinch point in Las Vegas, and then there's a pinch point in Wyoming, I believe, where Ben Horn's brother walks all the way to Wyoming, and evil Cooper's son goes to one of these pinch points and is killed. And there's others. I think there's one where I forget where it's located. It's a small town in the Midwest again, and that's what's happening at that in this little town. It mimics Twin Peaks, and there's a murder there, and it's again bleeding out sort of this third world. And I wish I could tell you the name of the small town. It's like in North Dakota or something. And some of the crime investigation of season 3 is happening there. Evil Cooper's there, and it's another pinch point. And so we're seeing those men that are the lumberjacks are there. So when the atom bomb went off, these pinch points, it shows Bob being delivered and going all over the world, in different parts of the world. And so agents from the Black Lodge are dealing with these areas, okay? And so this person asked, why above the convenience store? Well, it's one of these pinch points. And it gives the impression, from what I can tell, this is my memory, so it could be way off, in season 3, that the convenience store was actually built around the pinch point, not vice versa. It wasn't that the pinch point just happened to end up above the convenience store, but rather these lumberjacks or woodsmen, they call them, sort of made sure that it happened at this area. Pretty interesting, and it's you have to watch season 3 closely to see this, but it is there. Lynch does it in his own style, where he doesn't just come out and tell you; you just have to see it. And so that's why it's above a convenience store, because it's one of those places. And by the way, I know I mentioned this. Fire Walk with Me, when he mentions seeing these. Being at one of their meetings, and it shows that convenience store, it is genuinely very creepy. And in season 3, it's really creepy too, and it shows you that it does indeed lead to the Black Lodge. Anyway, pretty fascinating stuff. And I hope we got 2 more episodes left. Hopefully I'll get those done by the end of the week. Have a good one.